All right, guys, we are installing these pillar lights, what they call pillar lights, on a, I don't know what year this is, probably 2020, 2022 4Runner. And so you can see it goes right there. The little trim pieces come off, and then this light goes right in between it and offers an LED light for brake lights, turn signals, things like that. There's no videos out on YouTube about this, so we figured we'd make a real quick one. Pretty easy. You've got these little clips right here, and I've already installed them in the back of these. They're just little push clips. Didn't break a single one taking it off. Just be careful. Get you one of those pry tools like that and pry that off. Now the hard part is we've got to get the wiring inside this door, so we are going to have to drill a little hole right there, put some silicone around it in order to get the wiring inside the door. Then you can fish the line from inside this panel. There's a little grommet right there we took out to where we can fish it through this. Now you've got to get it down to the taillight somehow. So you could drill a hole in the top of this if you want to make a really clean to where you could go down the inside of this panel to the back of the light. But we're just gonna have it run down this right here, do some double-sided tape to keep the wire there, go straight in behind that tail light, and that gets us to that area where we can put the splice in and go from there. So not as clean of an installation, but it's something that you can undo later without having any signs that you drilled a hole and all that good stuff into your panel. The only hole that we'll have to drill is in this panel right here, but it'll be underneath and covered, and like I said, we'll silicone that in because that's right there where the wire goes through. So there you go. We'll show you the finished product. Okay, so got the passenger side on. It's working great. Essentially, the best way to do this is roll down the back window, take out this gasket right there, and you can see we got the wire all the way over to here. It's a little tricky. You got to drill one hole like I showed you and then snake it through here. But the good thing is these grommets come out so you can kind of get access to it. Snaked it over to here, pulled this down just a tad to get it snaked down to here. And then I went through this plastic into the back of this where the taillight is, plugged up, everything worked great. So I didn't have to make any other penetration holes or anything like that other than the one hole that's underneath this panel that obviously will be protected by weather, and I silicone that in. So now I'm working on the driver's side, and let me show you kind of what I've done. And I'll get this up here so it doesn't get hurt. Drilled one hole right there, right above this grommet, or this where the tab goes in. So drilled one hole. This side's a lot easier. This other side had kind of like an interior panel too. So there was this panel and then another panel. It made it really tough. This one was real easy. So I just fished it in, came down to this area right there, got this down to where I can fish it in underneath here. And so I'll just fish it probably kind of right along that, zip tie it to that to where it won't pull. And then it'll go inside this right there into the panel, down there, and back in there. Pretty simple. All right, guys, so you can kind of see that hole I made. The wire's gone through it, and all you got to do is line up the tabs, push it in. That's all good. Sorry, my camera. It's kind of tough doing this with one hand, but all right, got that in. So now I just got to finish the rest of the wiring down to that tail light, and we're good to go. Okay, guys, driver's side again, went through there, was able to get that grommet to snap back in, zip tied it there. I'll get this snap back in a second. Went through this, and basically you just pull this, go down this side right here, this entire side, till you get to about right there. You're gonna have to pull back that gasket a little bit, and then you can fish it through this plastic right here, this plastic trim piece, and then voila, you're in that chamber now. So now you just plug it in to that, tuck everything into that hole, put it back on, and you're done. Well, that's hazards. So got it all done. Lights are strobing, and then the pillar lights are going. Really wasn't as hard as I thought once you kind of figured it out. It was just routing it, getting the plumbing kind of to that place. Works really well. That's pretty cool. I'm kind of digging 4Runners now. Georgia. Oh, do you approve of my job?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Shake your hand. Okay, Claire, you got cool lights now. Thanks for watching Epic Cars.